This shift never ends.
Albert, are you smoking again? Why, you. Every time you force me to risk my neck on these damn slippery steps. I warned you, Albert. Don't say I didn't warn you. Give me those cigarettes right now. And don't make those goo-goo eyes. It's useless.
Have you been working in this building long?
Yes, I'm very competent in this, sector.
How long precisely?
We can say I've held this position for, several days.
Days. You said you were competent.
I'm a quick learner.
What do you think about Director Beringler?
Heavenly days! What an unusual request. Well,
The guard wore a concentrated expression. Beads of sweat gently purled on his forehead. Then he said,
I think he's a good-looking man, yes.
I meant, can you offer any other useful information about him? I don't know, anything that he might like or loathe?
Once, a while ago, I saw him choking on a coffee that the bartender in Dante Alighieri Square recommended to him. A new mixture. Well, it turned out it was infused with the flavor of licorice, which the director can't tolerate. You should have seen how he coughed. He seemed ready to explode.
Very, very interesting.
I agree. That infusion was very tasty.
Tell me everything you know about Count Cagliostro.
Oh, yes. Well, yes. It was in the manual. I remember it.
Thick veins appeared on the guard's temples as he racked his brain. All that intense thinking inspired him to say,
He was a count, yes.
Trust me, read through that manual again. Why did that guy confiscate your cigarettes?
This job is really monotonous, and I never know how to pass the time, so I smoke. Except I always forget there's a very good fire alarm in here.
Listen to me. Kick the habit. Anyway, I really don't like that bully's attitude. About the castle key, do you guard it?
No, the director personally locks up the castle every night and reopens it the following morning. He probably gets her at the first light of dawn.
That would be a real impediment. Even if I managed to steal the keys from Beringler somehow, he would surely notice their absence immediately.
Oh, silly me. Lake has a copy too, for emergencies. It didn't occur to me because he hardly ever uses them.
That is great news.
You're very kind to worry so much about the fate of our keys.
Bye. A piece of the scroll was probably hidden back there, but to enter I needed the access code. Plus, I had to get the key to the castle. Hey, Oliviero. If I asked for some licorice, would you send me around in search of something weird?
Just admit that you had fun picking that orchid.
Well, just a bit.
Here, enjoy the taste of true licorice.
You also sell cigarettes, right?
What a question. Of course I do.
Well then, give me a pack.
Any brand in particular?
No, the important thing is that they can be smoked.
You are one weird cat, eh? More than usual, I mean.
Because I was literally terrified. I already knew I'd been sentenced to death, but keeping a pack in my pocket was like carrying around a loaded gun. See you later. The chainmail was as tough and scratchy as a grater to the touch.
What's wrong with you? I should put you in the slammer right now.
You're burning my retinas.
Sorry, I got lost in the role of the bad cop a bit too much. Anyway, This time, I'll make an exception.
That guy would not have cooperated, and yet I had to grab the keys of the castle off of him. That guy would not have yet I had to... That was a very naughty idea. That's why I liked it. The balm dried instantly, becoming invisible at a quick glance. Hey, look what I have for you.
Are they for me?
Of course, I'm a fervent supporter of workers' rights.
Heavenly days! Thanks a lot.
Albert! Now I'm really sick and tired of you.
Everything fine, dude? Wait, I'll give you a hand.
You think I don't understand that all this has something to do with you?
If I'm not mistaken, I just helped you. I thought...
That would end up being friends? Wait, I'll call Albert too, so we can sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya.
Alright, never mind. I have to admit, Lake was smart, but not enough to stop me, since I had strategically pulled off his spare key. Albert claimed that it was rarely used, so I doubted I would be caught. Perfect. Once I found the security code too, I could enter the closed-off section.
Mr. Bundy, how can I help you?
In all likelihood, that was the notebook De Vilta told me about. I needed to get a peek in it. Can you give me some information about Castle Sancti Leonis?
As the defensive stronghold of the De Vilta family, the structure has always been in the middle of fierce clashes between the local aristocratic families.
Does the Marquis have any relatives?
No, unfortunately, his bloodline runs out with him. Unless he procreates in the coming years, I can't categorically exclude that possibility.
Did you really have to say that? I'll have a picture of that in my mind for days. What is your relationship with the Marquis de Vilta?
Strictly professional. I carry out the task I was entrusted with to the best of my ability, and that's it.
I sense a note of tension.
You're very perceptive. The Marquis doesn't seem to respect my authority, and the living proof of that is right here before my eyes.
The man sounded like he owned the castle. Tell me about the recently discovered area. It was only for a moment, but I noticed a small tremble in the director's pupils. Alice's advice was starting to prove useful.
I'll be frank. I do not think it's appropriate to share classified information with you.
And non-classified information? Let's say, any medieval death traps?
False myths disseminated by trash TV. The Middle Age wasn't the obscure period that exists now in the collective imagination. It was an era full of fervor, of enthusiasm for new discoveries, of brilliant inventions.
Like underwear. Well, I heard that in a documentary. The scenery is really breathtaking.
Isn't it? Admire the wonder.
I leafed through the pages, which revealed themselves to be nothing more than a sort of personal record of Beringler. Inside it, as I hoped, was the code I was looking for. 8154. You have to excuse me now.
Come back whenever you like.
So I recovered the key for the castle and the security code for the closed-off section. I'd wait till the evening before sneaking in. I had 2 pieces of the scroll in my pocket, and the third was waiting for me inside Castle Sancti Leonis. All I had to do was wait for night and sneak in. I was just a step away from the last piece of the scroll. I was finally in the private area, just steps away from the last piece of scroll. Eerie. They had installed some artificial lights, but they came and went continuously. I hope they lasted. I didn't want to find myself in the dark all alone. The door had been unhinged from that walled access at the bottom of the room. The brush for the cannon was long and sturdy. If it was telescopic, I would have put it in my pocket. A soft artificial light came from the hatch. Luckily, because otherwise I'd have to grope blindly to move. That opening reached the surface, letting a feeble natural light seep through. An ancient battered cannon, surely out of commission. The access was walled over a very long time ago, at least judging by its appearance. I couldn't explain why, but in the vicinity of that wall I could sense something. My scarf was moving, as if blown by an air draft. Judging by the direction in which it was waving, the gust of wind seemed to emanate from the walled access. But how was that possible? I touched the wall, searching for the origin of the draft. And here's the mystery explained. A part of the wall had only been roughly constructed. The passage continued downward, disappearing into total darkness. How much deeper did that place go?
Isn't it fascinating?
Oh, good. It's been a while since someone pointed a gun at me.
I must have underestimated you, Bundy. Radwed warned me to watch out for you. Evidently he has more faith in your abilities than I did. Yeah, faith. I want to offer you a confession. I never had much. All that talk of roses and crosses bores me.
What's this rose you all keep talking about?
Useless pseudo-religious fetishes. They're nothing more than fanatics busy killing each other in the name of oaths as ancient as the world. I'm only interested in power, and you got in the way once too often.
It's not the first time I've heard that, and it won't be the last either.
Aren't you curious to know what happened in here?
I see you're anxious to tell me, so why not?
We've been keeping an eye on San Leo for a long time, but we never managed to get to the bottom of its mysteries. Ben DeVilta discovered this section almost by chance. Radwed immediately sensed what it was about, and was able to sneak me in by manipulating the marquee like a puppet. The piece of scroll was right there in that gallery behind you. An ancient conduit used as an escape route, now forgotten and buried under tons of debris.
The ideal place to hide a treasure map.
A part, at least. But you already know that, right? You found the remaining pieces for us, just like Radwed expected.
Unfortunately for you, I didn't bring them with me.
Now it's you who's underestimating us. If they're not here with you, then we already know where to find what we need. The bartender is harmless, while the Polish woman could be a problem, but I'll take care of that later.
The narrow and tortuous path was preventing Beringler from sprinting fast enough to increase his distance from me, but soon we'd reach a wider road. I had to hurry. The car raced to the max speed allowed on that kind of road. Although I was pedaling to the best of my ability, I couldn't reach the car. Then, the epiphany. The new propulsion system I had installed after the chase with Radwed in Miami. By pedaling fast enough, it would be activated, giving me a nice boost forward. prepared for the leap forward. I wish that old hag Gwendolyn Pratt was there to film that moment of glory. I wouldn't be able to break the windshield, but Ringler looked scared. I would have loved to see him in my place.